Hi, welcome to Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your true potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. Welcome to the fifth dimension timeline. That's where I am right now. It's Thursday. It's July 8th, or Thursday. It's Tuesday, July 18th. Sorry about that. I'm really zipping through the week, aren't I? I'm already talking about Thursday. Well, welcome. Hi, how is everyone? Well, what's going on? Have we been activated? I'm going to get on to Lightcode activation. Anyone who's joining us here in the fifth dimension, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Write in the chat. Tell me who you are, where you're coming from. I'm coming to you live. So tonight we're going to have topics like globalists. I'm going to mention the three-letter organizations. And we're going to speak of Operation Mockingbird. What is that? And I've heard about that myself, and I didn't quite know. So what did I do? I traveled down the rabbit hole to figure it out, to understand it, and know a little bit more. And so I'm sharing the information with you. And I'm also going to speak of Lightcode activation, because I did have a very vivid lucid dream last night. I wanted to mention it. I'm going to start out by saying I have gratitude for this moment. I hope you do as well. I'm alive. You're alive. You're a beautiful being of light. I hope you know that you should cherish yourself and have self-love. I always speak of, to start off with, I speak about our dreams. Our dreams will guide us, our sleeping dreams. There's so much that can happen during our nighttime. And we can travel to astral realms. We can receive information. Maybe it's some kind of circumstance that you're supposed to reflect upon. A long lost memory might come forward. Whatever it may be, our dreams are very important, because whatever information that we're receiving within our vessel, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, like I say, when we are doing psychic phenomenon, and we're practicing with our clairsenses, our hearing, our seeing, our feeling, our touch, our knowing. We are receiving information that's solely for us, just like our dreams. Our sleeping dreams can guide us. They can tell us, don't go in that direction, go in this direction. And it can give you validation. And in the last few days, I've had quite a few that are giving me validation. And you can go out and purchase a dream journal. You can scribble your information on a piece of paper and just have, it's scattered all over the place, which is kind of like what I have going on. I try to put it together, and I've had dream journals, because I told you that I have a dream journal that you can purchase on Amazon. It's like $29, and it has an introduction, and there's enough for 5 entries, and you write a description, your interpretation, the date, your emotions. But I run out of those, and I just end up writing wherever I can. That's Elsa right over here. She's over here rolling around. Elsa, say hello to everyone. Do you see Elsa? She's hiding next to the little pillow. She looks like the pillow over there. She's the co-host here. Hey, Ginny, how are you? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Welcome to the fifth dimension timeline. You jumped out. Did you do some timeline jumping, Ginny? Here you are with me. I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. All right, so let's place some importance of our dreams, and let's remind ourselves to write them down if you do remember them, because you might wake up and forget them in a split second. So I suggest writing them down. Also, our thoughts are very powerful. You can change outcomes. If you have some kind of negativity about a task you're doing, any part of your life, personally, if you're going around spewing negativity, you're giving it basically more validation, because you're thinking it and saying it. So let's try to overcome that. And how are we going to overcome negativity and trying to control our thoughts? We'll be more aware. catch yourself, say, oh, what did I just say? I've caught myself saying, and hey, Jenny, what are you saying? Ha, I got a normal 8 to 5. 8 to 5 job. Hey, I know I'm all about that. That's what I've got going on. So I'm just trying to squeeze this in. And you know that I love going to the beach. So it wasn't a beach day and I wasn't here yesterday. So I'm here today and I want to be here because I think it's important to touch on some of these topics. And I'm also about spreading light and love. And I'm really trying to tell you that you're a beautiful being of light. Doesn't matter where you live, what you look like, what you do, or what you have. You're a beautiful being of light as is. You were born that way. You have light in your heart. You should cherish yourself. Okay, so our thoughts, our dreams, and our intentions. What are your intentions? Oh, I was going to say to you, how do you overcome? How are you going to overcome negativity? How are you going to overcome it? What do you think? Well, be aware. Have more control over your thoughts. And where's that going to come from? Nobody out here is going to help you with this unless you pay them money, where you service them, you give them money to be your therapist or some kind of coach. No one's going to help you. People like you as is because they know what to expect. They don't need change. But if you're looking to enhance your life, change your energetic pattern, have your destiny that is right before you, that you're closing your eyes and you're in this moment and you're grounding yourself and you're having gratitude for this moment. You're remembering where you are and you're pushing away any negativity and any thoughts, and you just want to create your destiny right here in this moment. You can't have negativity. No one's going to care, like I said. And plus, guess what's going to happen? Eventually, you're going to carouse people. People that are negative are going to just swarm to you because there's a lot of them out there. They're going to say, oh, yeah, let's talk about everybody. Everything's horrible. The world stinks, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? They're not going to have fun. And they're not going to have a serenity in their life. And their dreams aren't going to come true. So what are you going to do? You're going to start by tuning inward. You're going to tune inward. And when I say tune inward, I mean you're tuning into your inner life. You have to know yourself a little bit more because we weren't taught this. Unless you were nurtured and you had some kind of, creative family around you, or maybe they were psychics and they were talking about how they felt or they were emotional. Most of us don't tap into our potential. You have so much potential right now in this moment. You're highly gifted and advanced. You have advanced technology. You're not using all of your brain. You're not. You can't see everything with these eyes. You have to tune into your clear senses. So how do you start? How do you turn your life around? You're going to have stillness. You're going to breathe in and let out a breath. And you're going to sit on your bottom and you're going to imagine that your root chakra is reaching down into the ground, and so that you're grounded in the earth. You're going to have stillness and quiet. And you're going to push away any thoughts that you're having, because guess what? Before this moment or ahead of this moment doesn't really matter. Let's be in this moment. And you're going to tune inward, which means that you're going to go to your heart, whatever that means to you. Every one of us is going to have a different explanation for that. You're going to tune into your heart. You're going to say, wow, what am I feeling right now? It might take some time for you to go through all the layers till you get to your heart. You get to your feelings, your emotions. Most of the time, people say, oh, don't be so emotional. Stop crying. Take a pill. Have a drink. Smoke something. Get over it. And that's just masking everything. And guess what happens? It gets to be a pile. So you don't really know. So you tune inward and you say, how am I feeling? Which means I'm going to do it for myself right now. How am I feeling? I'm feeling content. I'm feeling like I am excited about the future. My emotions are, I'm pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm not going to be spreading anything toxic. I'm going to be saying, hey, you look great. Or, hey, tomorrow's a beautiful day. Or, hey, I'm so happy for this moment. That's where you want to get. You also want to tune inward and say, I love me. I love myself. Because you can't love anyone out here in this outer world, in this physical reality, unless you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, guess what? No one's going to love you. And if they love you, they might love you, and it might be kind of a very distorted relationship. If they love you, they're not really necessarily going to be, I guess, getting to know you, and it's not going to necessarily be the healthiest relationship. So if you're looking to have a relationship with someone and you don't love yourself, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So it might be shallow. It might be just surfacey. It might not be something that you feel like hugging the person or holding their hand. It might just be this very surfacey relationship. If you're looking for a relationship that you want to have like some kind of compassion and someone who will support you, then you have to love yourself first. Okay? So I'm saying I love myself. Hey, Bob Harding. Ginny, I would rather be at the beach too. Thanks for this. Yay for the beach. Woohoo! All right, so let's get on to the topics. Of course, I'm going to mention psychic phenomenon and angels tonight. Welcome, welcome to the fifth dimension timeline. Here we are. And what is here? Peace on earth. We're going to be striving for positivity and nurturing our inner world. Maybe we're going to practice meditation, grow a garden, spend time in nature, love everyone unconditionally, have forgiveness and compassion. That's the fifth dimension. We're going to come from a higher consciousness. We're going to connect to the cosmos. We're going to connect to through our universal chakras, and we're going to get into that tonight. Alrighty then. Well, globalists. Why am I mentioning this? Well, why am I mentioning globalists? Because it seems right now in this reality that we're living in, this, I guess you could say that, is it a simulation? Is it a psyop? What's real? What isn't real? Are CGI being created, videos of CGI with, I guess, celebrities, with leaders, with politicians, are the AI doing it? I mean, there's this strike, the SAG strike, and the SAG strike is over using AI. Because if you use AI, you're not going to need actors. They can just create movies without actors, and they can also write them as well. So SAG is a little upset right now. That's the Screen Actors Guild. I wanted to get into globalists because they seem to be the ones who believe that they're going to run the world. And guess what? You and I both know that's over. They can go jump in a ditch somewhere. Go jump in a hole. Cover yourself with dirt. You're not going to be owning us anymore. We're not going to be enslaved. We realized because we've been awakened. We know we came out of the slumber. Our memories are coming forward. And that's why I'm going to get into Lightcode's activation. So globalists, who are they? They're the people. Okay. So they're these political malicious agents forming a world government, and they're not elected. Where did they come from? They patted themselves on the back, and they came from a place of wealth, a long line of families that have been around for, I don't know, decades, hundreds of years, thousands of years. I'm not quite sure, because they keep wiping clean our history and starting over. And we don't really know what's true. We don't know what's true in the history books, do we? Because they've exterminated some other civilizations. So the history books just keep getting written over like they are right now. They're writing over the history books. So there are people unknowingly suffering at the hands of a few wealthy, connected, I'm going to say men, because I believe that it is men, if it's men, in fact. I don't know. They seem very, like I said, malicious, evil doers. And they want this one world government. That used to be something that people would be like, that's so funny, a one world government, that's a made up thing. And I say that I'm a truth seeker rebel, but they would call it a conspiracy theory. However, it's coming true. It's been around for quite a while. I'm going to get into some of the groups that they have a few meetings annually, and it's just seems like the same group is getting together to plan our future, our destiny. We're not going to let them do it anymore. We're not going to say it's okay. We're not going to be complacent, are we? Why? How? How is this going to happen? How are we going to stop it? Because we're talking about it, because we have more of a higher consciousness, more of awareness. And if you're aware, then you're actually, our thoughts are transmitting. We've spoken about we're receivers and we're transmitters. Our thoughts are transmitting out into the physical reality, and people are receiving our thoughts. That's telepathy, but it's a real thing. Our thoughts carry a charged impulse and feelings and emotions, and that's how you can kind of send information. So the globalists are not elected, and you know who I'm referring to. The globalists, like, for example, they believe that economic and foreign policy planned by them is what's best for us and for the people. So they're void of empathy, they're self-absorbed, they believe themselves to be gods. Like, oh my gosh, I'm a god. I'm the greatest thing on earth. I'm here, I'm here. So they are globalists, and they are, let me see. Here's like the globe, right? So here's one of the meetings that they have. They plan economic and foreign policy, and they believe what's best for us, they know. So there's what's called the World Economic Forum. I'm sure you've heard of it. And it seems as though their leader is Klaus Schwab, the WEF. And it's also been known to be called the AKA, the New World Order, which all of these groups are all in belief of the New World Order. And the New World Order is called also the Great Reset. And what is that exactly? That means that they're going to kind of tell us how to live. They believe in policies like climate change. They're like, climate change is a real thing. Meanwhile, we know there's HARP. And what's the other one that is, they control the climate? I can't remember right now, but I mean, what's all this haze here on the East Coast? What is that exactly? Where's that coming from, this haze? Is it really Canadian wildfires? I don't know. It seems strange to me. So this World Economic Forum has their own agenda. And they believe that the agenda is going to be for us, like what we should be doing. And it takes place in Davos, Switzerland. It's an annual meeting. All of these have annual meetings. So they want to control the climate. And how are they going to do that? Well, they're going to tell us we are going to have electric cars. And I've mentioned this before. In other words, everyone has to have an electric car across the globe. We have to maybe economize, watch what kind of stoves we're using, the kind of foods that we're eating. They're going to prevent us from growing certain farmland. They spoke about how many times, like the fact that a cow passes gas, and they're going to control that. I mean, seriously, controlling how many times a cow passes gas. And then depopulation. They believe that there's too many people populating the earth, which is ridiculous. There's plenty of room across the globe for many more people, and they're trying to depopulate. And they believe in medicine to depopulate. They believe in taking away life, killing babies. They believe in transhumanism, making us a robot, making us artificial and man-made, so we would no longer have human DNA. And they would be able to control our thoughts by putting a chip, having a chip in our brain, and then they can control our thoughts, which they've already been kind of doing. We're going to talk about Operation Mockingbird. They've already been doing that through propaganda. the propaganda of the press, which has been around since the 1950s, and they believe in this transgender and taking away, because they do believe in this one God. They believe in this God that is both male and female. Have you ever seen that? And they have all of these, what are they called? Not procedures, but they do sacrifices, and they believe in certain handshakes and different symbolisms and different logos. And they're all part of what I speak about, the secret societies. They're all of these groups that I'm talking about tonight are part of that. All right, so they want artificial change. They want the 5G, which we don't know what kind of damage that's doing to us. We're not even supposed to be not near our router. And they have all of these cell towers, and they have all of these satellites. And boy, I'm talking about a lot of stuff here that seems to be hurting us. We need to be aware. And they've placed leaders in power, the WEF leaders. So that's one of the annual meetings that are existing with these globalists. And another meeting is, they also believe in vaccine passports and ID chips. I said that already. Is the Bilderberg Group. Have you ever heard of the Bilderberg Group? Well, that's another one. They've been having meetings since 1954 in the Netherlands. And it's a very hush-hush quiet. And they're getting together, and it's very secretive. And they don't talk about with the public what they're doing. None of these groups do. I mean, a little bit with the WEF, but most of what they're doing, they're not letting us know. Because guess what? They're trying to exterminate us. So the Bilderberg Conference, it's a meeting. They have political experts and finance and industry experts, and two-thirds of them are from Europe, and the rest are from the United States. And they have 120 to 150 attendants. And this, again, is another globalist agenda meeting. Like, seriously? Did we elect you? Did we tell you that we want you to be telling us what to do? And somehow we're like, everyone's just saying, okay, why? Because we're cornered. We're cornered. Have you ever seen an animal that's cornered by a predator? These people or beings, whatever they are, I believe maybe they're soulless or predators. And what are they after? They're after us. And they're just using us. They don't think of us as humans. They just think of us as their property. So at this Bilderberg conference, there's 120 to 150 attendants. And they are also striving for this one world government. Hey, who's that? James Hadaway, hello. We latch to subconscious rather than the greater good. Yeah, so true. Now, there's two members at this Bilderberg Group meeting, two members from 18 nations. They're the world's wealthiest, most powerful political leaders. There's presidents, princes, prime ministers, presidents, and they are planning capitalist domination, a one world government and economic lifestyle. Okay. And then the third meeting that I'm going to reference is this 2023. Well, it's every year. It's a World Government Summit, another world government. Okay. Seriously, like every country should have their own processes and whatever they would like to do, not put us all together and tell us how to run things and who to be. And that's what this is right now. This is the one world government agenda, the 2030 reset. And this World Government Summit is taking place in Dubai. So that's the third one. So at this summit, there's 20 heads of state, 250 ministers, thought leaders, 10,000 private sector leaders, global experts, and of course, the World Economic Forum leaders as well. And they're all about futurism and technology and innovation. And what is that? Again, we're going to say that it's about this whole putting a chip in your brain, controlling us, making us robots, owning us basically and using us for our energy. Now, we speak about energy here. I tell you, let's make a ball of light and bring energy around us, light around us. Okay, a ball of light is energy. We are energy. We have so much within us that is useful, and we're not utilizing it. And so we have to have more awareness. I know you are. I know that you realize how gifted you are. And we're going to practice our clairsenses in a little bit. But continue to get your personal power. So what I'd like you to do is, I'd like you, wherever you're sitting, I'd like you to put all your weight in your bottom. I'd like you to reach down at the base of your root chakra, which is the bottom of your spine. And I'd like you to acknowledge all the energy you have at your root chakra, the base of your spine. And I'd like you to pull it up, pull it all up and pull it out of you and bring it outward. Like you're going to beam your light outward. And you know, tomorrow people are going to say, oh, something's a little different about you. And you're going to beam it outward. And you're going to project all the light and goodness that you have within you because you have it within you. As soon as you spark the light in your heart and you realize that you have this inner world right now and you can expand your consciousness and have more awareness, and you're going to be able to connect to others through your thoughts, you're going to realize that you haven't even tapped into your potential. There are parts of you that you have not been using because it was shut down. You were pushed down. You were compressed from the time you were little. You were thrown into the school system. You were given medicines and you were told what to think, how to think it. You were given all the answers. You weren't told, like, go out there and kind of figure it out. You weren't given paper and crayons and let's write and let's color and let's have a dream, expressing yourself in a dream state. You weren't doing that. You were told, here's a book, memorize it, give me back the answers. Seriously? There wasn't a lot of thought. Now let's let go of all of that programming. Let's let go of all of those attachments. We're going to leave them on the side of the road. And we're going to start fresh. And we're going to imagine light within our system. Like I said, we're going to beam out light. So I'd like you to close your eyes. Now, maybe you're having issues in your belly. I mean, all of us have issues somewhere in our chakras, right? There's our 7 chakras in our body, and then there's the 5 outside of our body, right? So here we are at the base of our spine down here, right? Our root chakra. Then our sacral chakra down here. Then there's our solar plex chakra. There's heart chakra, our throat chakra, our third eye chakra, our crown chakra. And then beyond that, I'll get into that after we do our psychic phenomenon. But my point is, in every one of our chakras, whether you realize it or not, it's important that they are not blocked. Because if they're blocked, you're going to have problems in certain organs in your body, in parts of you that you don't realize, and you start to begin to have an ailment. So let's say you're somebody that has a stomach issue, right? If you have a stomach issue and you're not really, I guess maybe you get anxiety or stress, where does it go? Maybe you have get stomach aches. Maybe you have anxiety and you feel it in your stomach. Maybe it's from when you were a little kid, long term. You were called on, or maybe you were in situations that you didn't feel comfortable. Let's right now imagine, let's close our eyes. We're going to let out a breath. We're going to relax. And let's imagine where our belly button is. Let's imagine a circle of light. So it's like the size of a ping pong ball. And it's at around our belly button. And it's a white light ping pong ball. And it's right there inside of our belly, directly behind our belly button. I'd like you to imagine that there's this light within your belly and it's spinning. I always say spinning. And why do I say spinning? Because when you're spinning, it's movement. You're spreading beyond the area. It also shakes up negativity, anxiety. It shakes up darkness. So it's this ping pong ball is going to be spinning within your belly, sending out sparks of light. Okay, we'll say that it's spinning whichever direction you'd like. So it's going to spin 1, 2, 3 times in one direction. This ping pong ball, it's spinning light. And now it's spinning the other direction. 1. And now as it's spinning, it's expanding and it's filling up more of your belly. And you can see this light within your belly. Let's imagine this light. We're doing a little bit of a visualization right now. This light is spinning in your belly in the other direction. If it's clockwise, counterclockwise, whatever you want it to be. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And now it's expanding and now it's filling. It's like this big now inside of you, right? And it's just expanding, it's beaming out. And I'd like you just to sit with this imagery that you have of this light, this spinning light in your belly. I'd like you to see, I'm going to be quiet for a moment. Let's see if it has any impact on you physically. Does it feel like warmth to you? Does it feel uncomfortable to you? What does it feel like? I'm going to stop talking. So for me, it's feeling as though this concept of this spinning ball of light in my belly, behind my belly button, now it's more expansive. It feels more like a release. It feels more like something is being let go. And that's good. So I don't know what kind of impact this had on you, but these little exercises can shift you in maybe a tiny way, maybe in a big way, maybe not today, but you're opening it. And what are you doing? You're stretching your senses. You're stretching who you are, and you're bringing more light into yourself, and you're accepting yourself. You're having a willingness to make some changes here. Okay, I just want to mention before we get on to the next topic. Oh, what, Jane? How do we say? Just find inspiration list. I'll not be ready to hear that the matrix, not all grace. I agree with you. And we just have to keep going. We have to believe and have hope. Okay, so I just want to mention before we get on to Operation Mockingbird, the 3-letter agencies. And as always, at the 1 hour mark, I'll be talking about psychic phenomenon. So if you don't want to hear what I have to say, come back or don't, whatever resonates with you. I'm here for you. I'm wishing good things for you. So these 3-letter agencies, which are branches of the government, have quite a bit of control. And that's why I'm going to get into Operation Mockingbird, because apparently the Central Intelligence Agency has been involved with releasing propaganda through news agencies for many, many years. So the 3-letter agencies in the US of A, what are they? Well, they're intelligent community member agencies. For example, there's a lot of them. Here's a few. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. Why am I bringing this up? Because guess what? They've all been in cahoots with these globalists, with our media sources, with the social media. They've been there. We're just realizing some of what's been going on because there are whistleblowers who have been telling us now. There's also the National Security Agency, the Central Security Agency, Central Security Service, and that's the NSA, National Security Agency, Chief of Central Security. That's a big one. And what are they doing? Well, they're spying on us through our televisions. They're listening to us through our Alexa, the little mechanism that we have in our house, and we listen to music. They're listening to us. They're watching us. They're looking at us through our phones. They're maybe having cameras on the street. Why? Because they want to control us. They want to own us. There's the Defense Intelligence Agency, the DIA. There's the Department of State, the DOS, Department of Defense, DOD. There's the Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI. Now, don't you see how there's so many television shows that are like, wow, look at that CIA agent or the FBI agent. Now, I'm not saying they're all in cahoots with the globalists or the elite cabal. I'm saying that some of them are. And we're like, oh, they're so good. They're just looking out for us. But they are really trying to basically have domain over us, control us, run our lives. So there's also the Air Force intelligence and the Army intelligence. There's a lot of intelligence agencies. Be aware. Anyone who's joining us, where are you coming from? Do I know you already? I write you down on my list. What's James having? They want Sandra and George, the folks we will never be. What are you saying, James Hathaway? I missed out on that. I don't know what you're talking about. Not to say it's not valid. I'm just not really sure I know what you're talking about. Maybe I'm missing it because sometimes my brain isn't all working when I'm doing this because I'm trying to do so many things at once. So here we have a newspaper right now. Here's a newspaper. So when I open up the newspaper, where's this news coming from? And who's writing the news? Well, there's, writers. They're investigative journalists. And who owns these newspapers? And what's going on with this? And I wanted to bring this up because it's happening. We see something in the physical reality, but then it's not talked about in the paper, is it? Why? Because it's called Operation Mockingbird. Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, began manipulating media organizations' news channels for propaganda since the 1950s. I'm going to give you a little excerpt from one of the meetings, a select committee, and they spoke about it from 1975. So the CIA recruited journalists to write false stories promoting government ideas. So basically, this is what it is. The government has a plan, and then they enlist writers to put it and package it for us in the newspaper, on the mainstream media. It's not just some guy or gal out there and they're like, oh, I just saw something. Let me write about it and let me have it in the newspaper. Oh no, absolutely not. You can't get your work published. It has to go through so many channels, and it has to go through what they want to promote their agenda. So in 1975, Operation Mockingbird, this is a real thing. This is a program in the government, Operation Mockingbird. Have you heard of it? It's related to propaganda from the news media. Yes, it is. And so Operation Mockingbird was brought before a select committee they revealed in 1976 the CIA currently had maintained a network of several hundred foreign individuals around the world who provided intelligence for the CIA and at times attempted to influence opinion through the use of covert propaganda. So what does that mean? Why am I even saying this? Who cares, really? Are you saying that? Who cares? I'm telling you this because we already have so much programming that we've received since we were little bitty kids and we went to kindergarten. If you're from the United States, or maybe you went to school, whatever country you're from, and you were receiving all of this programming. They told you what to do. They told you what to say. They told you how to live. They told you what you needed to know in your life. They told you everything, a whole outline. It wasn't freedom. And that's what goes on. So not only did you get it in school, but now that you're entertained with all of this through what you read in the newspaper or watch on television. It's all paid programming. Someone's paying to tell you. So basically they have an idea. It would be like, I'm sitting here and I'm going to tell everyone, guess what? No other pen on the whole planet works except this one. And I'm going to have every news media source tell everyone that and put it all over the news. And it's going to say, only this pen works. I guarantee you this pen would no longer, this pen would be sold. Everyone would want this pen. And no one, my phone's going off, and no one would buy other pens because the news said so and the newspaper said so. And everyone would be buying this pen because the news said so. It's the only pen that really works. That's how we are being MK Ultra. We are being brainwashed. So you're being brainwashed every time you open up one of these, because guess what? Sorry to tell you, 99% of this is not true. It's what they want you to believe. They have all these people writing this stuff to send off a certain message. I used to audition for commercials. What would I do? I would go in there and I'd audition, and I would be an actor auditioning and trying to promote a certain product. And then it would be a commercial, and then people would buy that product. It's the same thing. So that's what Operation Mockingbird has been doing. So just be aware, and this is out of concern. Now, I know a lot of you who are watching this are on the same page as me, but anyone who's new, just don't be influenced by it. So I'm going to give you like a little excerpt, and then I'm going to get on to Lightcode activation, because we're going to be getting on to that. And that's super important. That's more important than this, but I'm touching on this because we're going down the rabbit hole, because before you know it, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? There's not going to be a 2024 election. You know who's going to be running things, and the world is going to be at peace. And every little bit of evil is going to be revealed, and they're going to be having their tribunals. So this won't even be a topic maybe in a year or 6 months. It'll be gone. So I'm bringing it up now because it's important right now in this world that we're living in. So the CIA provided direct access to all large numbers of newspapers, press services, and radio and television stations. So the CIA budget, this is very interesting. I was shocked by this. Who is that? James Hadaway? Meditation to avoid triggers. I love that. Yes, meditation. They want, okay, who's Sandra and George? Why am I like blocking out on who Sandra and George are? Who's Sandra and George? Help me, help me, help me. Somebody help me. Listen to this. 1/3. Okay, so in 1978, 1/3 of the CIA budget for Operation Mockingbird was $1.5 billion in 1978. And then later it went up to $10 billion. 1978. Oh my gosh. So how much money have they been spending on all of this? So the CIA manipulates the media beyond your wildest dreams to affect public perspective. So you and why am I just really pressing this forward, really pushing down on this? So that you just realize every time that you look at some of the media, some of the television stuff, even the programming, that you have to know, like, don't be fooled by it. Don't be fooled by a newspaper. I used to get the newspaper. I used to hop on the train and get the Post. I used to look at the New York Times, but now I know it's just propaganda. So they just churn out bogus stories. So in the 1950s, the CIA recruited 400 American journalists, 400 in the 1950s, into a network to help present the CIA's views to influence foreign media. 400. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Do you have 400 people at your job? 400 people is a lot. They hired 400 journalists to influence foreign media and political campaigns. So here we go. Here's something from a meeting from 1996, and it was from the CIA and how they used journalists. I'm going to get on to Lightcode activations in just a minute. Hang on with me, everybody. I hope you like the video and subscribe. And anyone who's here, thank you for joining us. Thank you, thank you. When you like the video, it brings more people to this channel. Why am I here? To offer topics, go down the rabbit hole with you because I'm a rebel, and also to bring healing suggestions. All right, so this chairman, Spectre, okay, this is what he said. I quote, I found the paperwork for it. Well, I think as we have discussed here, it is now understood that there are circumstances under which the press may be used or involved in intelligence work. The press is serving a function. So they were using the press, and they've been using the press. Hey, Michael, how are you? Hello, hello, how are you? Hello, everyone. Hello, I'm talking about objects. Operation Mockingbird with the CIA and how the Central Intelligence Agency has been using news media to program the population, the United States of America. That's what they've been doing for quite a while. Oh, it's Michelle. I'm sorry. Why am I reading Michael? Sorry, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Hello. Then he also said, Chairman Spectre in 1996, July 17th. So I think you have a balancing of interests and would argue that the value that is served by having a press is untainted by any possible association with intelligence who bring day after day, week after week, year after year, after as much unvarnished reporting. So what this man was saying, let's make sure that the public does not know that we're in cahoots. Because if they know we're in cahoots, no one's going to read the paper. That's what he said. He knew, they knew. So they would put it undercover. It was a covert operation, Operation Mockingbird. And they said, shh, nobody's going to know. We're going to hire journalists, investigative reporters, and what are they going to do? They're going to be sending the messages that we want. If we want this guy elected, if we want to tell them that that country is not good, or we want a war over there, we are going to just send them that kind of information. We're going to put it out there, news sources. And what else is everyone going to believe? They're going to believe not every news source can be in cahoots. Apparently they are. And so they knew that. They knew that. So they said, hide it. So something that I believe would be inhibited by the possibility that there may be some association with intelligence service. So they hid it, that they were in cahoots. That's right. So we've been tricked. Operation Mockingbird. Now, someone else said, Mr. Koppel said, this was at this one meeting. This one meeting took place, and a lot of this was revealed. But guess what? No one's really realizing this because they're not looking. I looked. It was declassified, and you can find it. First of all, why don't we go all the way? Why don't we simply enlist all American foreign correspondents overseas with the CIA and be done with the nonsense of assuming that we had nothing to do with it? So this was before the Select Committee of Intelligence of the U.S. Senate 104 Congress second session. It was an official session. This is a real thing. I'm telling you, they've already told us. It's already out there. You can put it in DuckDuckGo and look for it. It's on the second page. If you look up Operation Mockingbird, it's 57 pages long, and I took some excerpts. So just pay attention. Just saying pay attention. That's all I want to say. All right. So before I get on to Lightcode activation, have you been Lightcode activated? I want to mention angels are beings of light. They're benevolent, celestial. This looks like an Archangel Michael coming from the heavens to earth. They ascend and descend on a staircase from heaven. They are messengers. They're here for you. They're here to bring aid. They can bring more light into your system if you tune inward. If you want to activate your third eye chakra, we've spoken about that. Maybe it's tapping. You do that for tapping and you ask for activate my third eye. Now, when you're activating your third eye, what does that mean? Do you know what that means? That means that you're going to be able to have a knowing. Your intuition is going to become more apparent to you. You're going to access parts of you that you didn't even know existed within you. You're a highly dimensional being of light. So you can ask for your third eye to be activated. And when you activate your third eye, maybe you're imagining a beam of light, maybe you're imagining a circle of light, maybe you're asking for it. Please, please, can I activate my third eye chakra? And I'd like to activate my third eye chakra because I'm really excited. I want to know more about what I can't see, the energies, the frequencies, the vibrations. I'd love to have lucid dreams. I'd love to have a light code activation. I'd love to be more in touch with nature, be more adaptable when I'm meditating. And when I meditate, I want to channel other realms. Or maybe I want to connect to the angelic realm. And how are you going to do that? You're going to do that by being open, by having an open mind, an open heart, and having self-confidence. You can do it because you can. We all have these abilities. Everything I'm saying, you are completely capable of doing. Or I wouldn't talk about it. I'm not special. I can do it. I just accessed this when I was very young because I had near-death experiences. And so I connected with divine energies very, very young. I realized it was God's source. I realized Christ consciousness. I realized that you were just as important as I am, that we're all equal. Everyone's equal. Everyone is connected. And we're also connected to every single living creature on the earth and every single living thing on the earth. And we're connected to water, and we're connected to air. And have you ever spoken to water? I've spoken to water. Now, whether you realize it or not, I'll tell you a personal experience. I almost drowned. So I had a fear of water, and I did not realize that for many, many years. I did not really know how to swim, and I didn't really learn to swim until 2014. And I had a fear because I literally almost drowned on my third breath. My father saved me. And it was my second near-death experience. So I thought, I guess I'm not supposed to live. I'm probably only going to make it to 17 or 18. That's what I wholeheartedly believed. And here I am. I'm older than 17 or 18. But about water, what I learned from one of my swim coaches was that water is very spiritual. You don't want to move through water. You don't want to be around water in a rough way. You can connect to water. And when you connect to water, you're connecting to one of the elements of the earth. And that's very spiritual. That's a little mystical. It's something divine. You're connecting. And if you're having a rough time, what do I say? And maybe it's something that's bothering you and you're like, I can't let go of this. I had a terrible night's sleep last night. I can't let go of this. What should I do? I'm recommending you go to a body of water and you speak to the body of water. Like, I have a beach near me. I've mentioned that. I go to the body of water and I speak to it and I say, I'm letting this go. And I'm letting it go out to the water and it's being released. And usually within 24 hours, I can sense that it's been released from me. And it's usually something that was bothersome. It usually is something that is so bad that I can't let go of it on my own. I can't process it. So that's one avenue. So the 4 elements, well, there's not 4, there's 5. And that's why I'm going to get into light codes right now. So ether. The ether is in the atmosphere above the clouds. And I have to tell you, I'm bringing up light code activation because I had this lucid dream. And it lasted just a few, let's see if I could imagine, less than 10 seconds. But it was very, very vivid. It had such an impact on me. It was most definitely divine. And what did I see? Well, this lucid dream happened to me. It was probably 11:30 last night. And I've had some things I'm going through as of lately. and some health things, some personal things. It's just been, I guess, covering me, some issues that have been covering me. And I think I've been letting go of some stuff. And when I finally let go of some stuff, I had this lucid dream. And what happened? It was breathtaking. So I wasn't asleep. I had closed my eyes. And what did I see? I'm going to try to describe it as much as I can so you get the effect of it. I saw cloud. It was like I was right there. It was like I was there. It was the most extraordinary experience. And I have to tell you, I wear contact lenses, I wear glasses, and I don't have great sight at all. I haven't since I was in 7th grade. The experience was, there was clouds around me, and it was a blue sky, and so here was the clouds, here I was, and there's the blue sky, and thousands upon thousands of birds, and I could hear them, I could see them, and they were coming right past my face. And they were traveling right past my face. And then as soon as they all traveled past my face, they came back the other way in front of me. And it felt like to me heaven. It felt like to me I was beyond the ether. And it was validation that I'm okay. And it was a very much a euphoric experience. And I wish this for you. So let me just remind you about the 4 elements, the 5 elements, right? Fire, okay? So why am I saying this? Because I want to remind you of how much power you have, and how much, the more awareness you have, the more knowledge you have about your inner world and the outer world, the more of a chance you can manifest your destiny, the more of a chance you can have personal serenity. So, fire. And I'm going to tell you, symbolically, is strength, it's energy, it's creativity. Okay? Water. What I just got into, water, and how I connect to water, and how water is emotional, water is cleansing. It's powerful. It represents prosperity. It represents being grounded, permanence, and intuition, right? And water also is very cleansing. You know, when you shower, when you bathe, maybe if you're in a body of water, it just is, it's this element that you can't quite describe. And it brings something, it's nurturing. And also, when we drink water, how do we feel? It gives us life, right? You know what? All right. So I'm sorry. Water, cleansing, energy, healing, rebirth, stability, and devotion. Air. Where's air? Air, life, communication, learning, harmony, balance is needed. And now earth. Sorry, I mixed them up. Earth is cleaning, power, prosperity, groundness, permanence, intuition. So earth is intuition. So I messed that up. I apologize. Hey, Alex. Hello, Alexandra Morel. Welcome to the 5th dimension timeline. You've jumped timelines. Hello. All right, so angels, I'm going to get into psychic phenomenon, light code activation. So have you activated your light codes? Now, our light code activation is kind of symbolic of growth and transition. Now, in this day and age, we've been undergoing a spiritual war. It's been between good and evil. And I've spoken about the star seeds and the light workers. And who are the light workers? The light workers are beaming down light on earth, and they are helping awaken the sleepyheads who are in this simulation, in this matrix, in this belief of this 3D, and the musts that we are told. We must do this, we must do that. And light code activation comes after you've awakened and you've said, you know what? I don't think that jives with me. Heck, in fact, I think that that's not true. And you start to awaken. Now, maybe you awaken and it's a spiritual awakening. Maybe someone awakens you through that new movie, The Sound of Freedom. Maybe someone awakens you because you open up the newspaper and you go, oh my gosh, this isn't real. This can't be true. I'm standing here and that's not what I see. Because for yourself, with your own eyes, you've realized that there's lies going on, lots of them, right? And that's when you've awakened. Good evening. She's so funny. Alexandra Morel, good evening. So light code activation is when you've activated your dormant DNA. And I've mentioned this, and I know maybe you know about it already. And what I'm talking about is there's parts of you that have been inside of you and they have not been utilized. And it might very well be some of your abilities, some of your creativity, some of your imagination, some of your gifts and abilities about your clear senses. It might be something as unbelievable, real life phenomenon as teleportation. Maybe all of a sudden you'll be able to teleport yourself. Maybe all of a sudden, hey Trident, how are you? I hope you like the video and subscribe. It's Mary Amy coming live from New York. Maybe you are going to be able to levitate. You're going to be so powerful that you're going to be able to, with your mind, lift this pen in the air. Or maybe you're going to time travel. Maybe you're going to join the Space Force with DT and you're going to travel to another off planet. Maybe you're going to be a warrior against the reptilians in inner Earth. You decide. Maybe you're going to be all of a sudden a magnificent illustrator of children's books. Or you're going to design a pathway, a portal to another dimension. These abilities you have within us, you have dormant abilities. So when you activate your light codes, it means that you're going to be able to receive light code activation. And when is that going to come? It's probably going to come when you're relaxed. It might come while you're meditating. It might come during a visualization. It might be something you experience when you're going to sleep. For me, this experience that I had last night where I saw the birds and they were going right by, it was like, I swear, it was as if I was there with them. Thousands of birds just passing right by my face. That's a light code activation. So when that happened, it opened up part of me, my DNA, that was dormant. That's a light code activation. Now, each one of us is going to have a different experience. Not all of us are going to have vivid experiences like I had. Maybe it's going to come through like this. This is a light code activation, what it looks like. And it is actually light. Now, maybe it's the form of light. For me, it was the form of light with nature last night. I've also had similar experiences where I've seen this, a light code activation, which is, it looks like all this symmetry. It looks like all of these different shapes and symbols. When you have these light code activation experiences, it's like when you do your psychic phenomenon. You feel something physically. It's not just a visual experience. It's not flat at all. It's more dimensional than that. It feels like it's touching all of you. Now, it doesn't last for more than a few seconds, but it's powerful. It's like nothing else. It's exciting. You can ask for it to happen. Let's all encourage ourselves to have this light code activation. How is that going to happen to you? You're going to be more receptive. You're going to say, you know what? I'm going to have a willingness. This sounds like I don't know if it's possible, but I'm going to be completely open to it. You're not going to have any fear. Because when you start having these experiences, I had my first Lightcode experience November 24th, 2021. And then from there, it was constant. Then there was bouts of it being quiet, and then more and more. Now, when I talk about it, or when I have more duality, in other words, when I allow myself to have the good side of me and the bad side of me, maybe it's your demons, maybe it's the side of you that you're shameful, and I embrace it. And I say, you know what? All right, I'm not so proud of that I did that, or I'm not thinking that was such a good idea. When I accept all of that and I don't run, I don't stuff it somewhere, I don't say, no, I'm not gonna, that's old history. Who cares? You have to embrace all of you. You have to allow all of you to become forward, the truth. When you allow the truth to come forward within you, and you say, I'll accept all of me, you will have Lightcode activations, 1,000,000%. Okay, so you might just receive these. Now, what are Lightcode? So it's a high vibration pattern, and it's triggered to open into multiple dimensions. So when this happens, the reason why it's so powerful is it's almost like a portal to somewhere else, another dimension. And it's going to feel like that. It's going to feel otherworldly. It's going to feel surreal, otherworldly. It's pretty exciting. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because more of us are awakening. More of us are awakening, which means more of us are going to have these experiences. And not everyone's going to know what you're talking about. You're like, well, last night I had this, I think it was a dream, and I saw this light. I don't know what it was. Not everybody out in the physical reality, in the outer world, is going to know what that is. So here I am sharing with you that you're not cray-cray. It's a real thing. Okay? You're not cray-cray. So it's activating your dormant process in your DNA. Streams of information are going to come through. It's going to be working at, I'm going to get into psychic phenomena in just a minute because we hit the 1 hour mark, all levels of your being. Like I said, it's going to touch all of you. So we are all energy, and we are affected by light and sound, and that's what you're going to experience. So these light and sound codes will be traveling through the ether. We just spoke about the different aspects of elements, the different elements, right? Earth, wind, fire, air, and ether. Ether, I think ether touched me last night. So it's a higher vibration. Natural light codes are believed to be beamed to you to awaken your dormant DNA and activate your ascension and accelerate your ascension. And what's your ascension? Your ascension is to a higher dimension. Your ascension is to a place where we are all communicating through our thoughts. We have a higher consciousness. And a higher consciousness basically is being in a place of love, being in a place of peace. And you say, oh, that sounds so corny. Oh, you're into light and love. But guess what? When you go to that place, what's happening? You're actually bringing all of your dreams and desires closer to you. You're having more synchronicity. And synchronicity is when events that have nothing to do with you, nothing to do with each other, coincide in their validation. So light codes are going to be patterns of energy, sacred geometry, colors, multidimensional sound waves. I'll show you another picture. It's kind of like this is what it is, right? You're catching into another reality, another dimension, your light codes. And I have one more photo, and then I'm going to do a little bit more explaining before we get onto psychic phenomena. So it's like traveling through you. That's the effect I want to share with you. Light codes are basically traveling through you. You're probably traveling through you. More of you have come forward. So light codes help us access multiple dimensions and assist us in remembering We are divine. We are divine. You and I, you're a beautiful being of light. You're cherished. You're worthy. They're Stargate locations, and they're opening to another world. They're pockets of information. They give you information to activate and open your chakras. So light codes will heal and help you connect with your higher self. So if you have felt like your soul has left you during traumatic events, I had that. And I mentioned a few weeks ago that all of a sudden pieces of my soul came back, soul retrieval. You can go to a shaman for this, or you can activate light codes and you can do it yourself. They came back and I had all these memories from my past because I had traumatic events. Okay, I just wanted to was there anything else on here I wanted to remind you? Okay, so light codes, I'm going to get into psychic phenomena in 1 second. Light codes raise your vibrational frequency, upgrade your DNA, links you with unity consciousness, and you receive deep meditation and you upgrade your instinct. Sounds good to me. I think that we all should activate our light codes. All right, so you're ringing. There you go. I guess I said the right thing. That means I'm activating something right now in this moment. All right, so psychic phenomenon. Psychic phenomenon is helpful in your inner world and your outer world because you will begin to realize that we're all connected, and everything that you learn and practice with your psychic phenomenon will give you aid out in the physical reality, out in the outer world, and also here. Because when you activate I'm saying activate so many times, I'm saying when you practice your psychic phenomenon, you are trusting yourself, you're believing yourself, you're giving yourself self-confidence because you're taking away any fear, any doubt, and you're allowing yourself to really be who you are. There's not a lot of moments that we entertain throughout our day that we're allowed to really be ourselves. Don't we always have to put on an act like for everyone? Don't we always have to act a certain way? We can't really be ourselves because we can't really express ourselves if it's not something that everyone else agrees with, or we can't really talk about what we find interesting because everyone might say that's kind of weird. We can't really be ourselves. But when you practice psychic phenomenon, you're sharing your truth with yourself, and you are allowing yourself to really be and know more about, I think, whatever's going on within you. Because you can tap into portals. You can tap into knowledge and wisdom that you didn't realize that you had through your psychic phenomenon. Now, if you practice on your own, you might realize that you're improving, because when we do it here, I think that I know I'm guiding you. However, I don't know how much of you are like free to kind of have the experience. It's kind of being dictated. So I suggest that you practice on your own, and you might practice by sending messages telepathically with a friend. I mentioned that over and over again. You might practice by really trying to read someone. And you know what? You can get really good at this. Now, I'm not talking, again, I'm going to say over and over, I'm not talking about what you see with your eyes. With your eyes. You have to really tune inward. You have to tune inward through your senses. Tune inward to others through your senses, I should say. All right. So let's do something right now. Now, what is telepathy? Telepathy is the communication of thought outside normal senses and channels. Telepathy is mind to mind, receiver, sender, receiver, sender. I had an example would be, I sensed that one of my coworkers had something that was bothering them yesterday and today. And I didn't even have to ask them. I just knew, and I found out, yes, indeed, I was correct. And it wasn't through anything I saw. I just sensed it, their energy. My senses told me. Now, if someone had said to me, nothing's wrong, I would have said, there is something wrong, because we are all human lie detector tests. So trust yourself. Now, clairvoyance, which I spoke about earlier, about activating your third eye, most closely associated with ESP, extrasensory perception. It's called second sight, or the ability to perceive places, objects, or events outside the normal sensory channels. In other words, you can channel, you can maybe, through clairvoyance, you might be channeling another realm, a spirit, an extraterrestrial, a location. It might be something remote. You might be receiving information remotely, like it could be some stranger, or it could be someone you know, and a flash of information comes through clairvoyantly, and you know something about them. It might be something really, like something they were injured, like, or it's a warning for you. So pay attention when we practice this. It's going to help you outside of sitting here with me during this video. Anyone who's joining us, I want to thank you. Thank you for joining us. Psychokinesis is synonymous with telekinesis. It's the ability to use thought to move an object, mind over matter. So psychokinesis. So that would be like, I'm sitting here and, I've never done this. I think I did it when I was a little kid, where I was like, I'm going to move that glass, or I'm going to lift myself. I haven't practiced that. I should practice that. In fact, that's a little bit of a homework assignment for me right now. I'm going to practice trying to lift things with my mind. So we want to develop our clairsenses, and we will have more connection with our spirit. So let's do one right now. Let's do some clairvoyance or clairsense work. So here's the little chart. I usually show it to you. You can see clairvoyance, right? What is that? Clairaudience, which is hearing. Claircognizance, which is clear knowing, right? Clairgustinance, which is clear taste. Clairolfactance, which is clear smelling. And then clairsustenance is feeling, and then channeling and mediumship. Okay, there's the little chart, and then we're going to do some. Okay, now all of us have the ability to master at least one clairsense, but I'm going to tell you, it's really 3. It's not 1, it's 3. You have the ability. I know you do. Because if you can do 1, of course you can do 3. Of course you can do 3. All right, so we're going to relax. We're going to imagine that our feet are grounded in the earth. Now, I'd like tonight for us to go back to practicing our claircognizance, because I believe that that's really going to stretch us. And our claircognizance is our hearing beyond the walls of the room, right? We're going to have stillness and quiet. We're going to hear. How far can we hear? How far? I know this has helped me with Lightcode activation, so I'm really suggesting this. When I say hear beyond the walls of the room, you're just tuning in, and you're really hearing, like concentrating and focusing. Like, what am I hearing? And then you're going to tune into your clairvoyance. What are you seeing? Are you seeing an angelic realm? So I just saw a lamb. I just saw something yellow when I tuned into my clairvoyance, my I guess other world. And then we have clairsustenance, which is our feeling, and you've mastered being empathic. If you're empathic, you might go into a crowd and you're overwhelmed, or you feel like scared, or you feel uncomfortable, you get a stomach ache. It's because you need to imagine light wrapping around you, because you're empathic. Okay? So we're going to practice these 3: hearing, seeing, feeling. And it's a triangle, isn't it? And that I think is important because it's 3 sides to it. And we're also going to imagine, so here we're going to go through all the steps and we're going to practice this, and I'm going to give a suggestion. Let's see if you receive any psychic phenomenon, if you receive any impressions, which might come in the form of a mental picture. It might be a sensation, a number, a sound, a tone. It might be you see someone's face, maybe someone has a conversation, maybe a spirit, someone who passed. You might view something that you've never seen before. A stranger might just come into your face. Allow whatever it is to happen, and then try to stay focused on it so you get as much information as you can. All right? All right, so let's let go, let out a breath. We're going to put all of our weight in our bottom. We're going to imagine that our feet are firmly planted in the earth's surface and our root chakra is plunging down into the earth, so we're grounded because we want to be grounded. We want to let go of any thoughts we have. Send them away. We don't need thoughts. We're going to take away any doubt. We can do this. We're amazing. We are beautiful beings of light. We're highly dimensional. We're gifted. We're talented, right? And then we're going to just be like a rag doll. We're going to let go of any tension. So we're going to have all of the energies coming through our fingertips, out of our fingertips, and we're just dropping down into our system, into our physical vessel. And now I'd like, with me, I'd like you to have inhales and exhales, 3 of them. So we're really relaxed and we get a lot of information during this psychic phenomenon. All right? Okay, so now hopefully you're more relaxed. And I'd like you to imagine some light within your inner life. You have light, right? You're pushing away any thoughts. You're taking away any doubt. You're dropping down into your vessel. Now I'd like you to tune into your hearing. Both ears or one ear. You're going to tune in and you're going to hear beyond the walls of the room as far as you can listen, your clairaudience, right? And just remember that, your clairaudience, your hearing. Now I'd like you to connect your clairvoyance, your third eye. Tap it. Maybe you open it up. Tap, tap, tap. So you're hearing and you're seeing, your clairvoyance. So I'm seeing, I'm hearing. And now I'd like you to, what are you feeling at the same time? So you're hearing, seeing. This is taking coordination and feeling all at the same time. Try as much as you can to have these all connecting. This is claircognizance all at once. Hearing, seeing, feeling. And now my suggestion right now is, I'd like you to, my suggestion is to imagine the most beautiful, wonderful day. And that's whatever it is. So what are you hearing? What are you seeing? What are you feeling when I say that? The most beautiful, wonderful day. It might be something you've already had in your past. It might be something in the future. Allow yourself to have whatever experience. I'm going to be quiet and see what I receive. Okay, that was wonderful. I had a really great experience. I don't know what happened to you, but I'm going to tell you. So for me, what happened was I did connect. I was walking along a road and I saw the pavement of the road. And I was traveling alone and I walked into a establishment. I didn't know where I was. And then my mind started to try to take over. I said, no, 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 no. I pushed that aside. What am I really seeing and what am I hearing? And I was I went into this, I guess it was like a restaurant pub, and I didn't know where I was. And then I said, where am I? Where am I? And then I heard someone come over and say, sit down here. And they shook my hand, and I was in England. So that's what happened. So that's where I was. And I guess that was going to be this wonderful, beautiful day. So I guess that's in my future. I'm going to go to England. I don't know when that is. All right. So that was wonderful for me. I don't know if you guys had an experience. I hope you did. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I really want us to do, like, I get this intuitive mention. I wanted to do chakras tonight, but I guess I'm not. I'm going to do it in a few days. I'm going to do the ball of light. We're going to rub our hands together. I know that we need to bring light onto this earth, and that's why I'm doing this, because every time we bring light onto the earth, we make it more beautiful. So we're rubbing our hands together and we take it apart, and hopefully that we feel this friction on our palms, and then we maybe cup them. If that doesn't work, then just keep them this way. And then we're just bringing light here. And you're just bringing light. Now, do you feel as though it's light? Is it expanding? Light is energy. You're bringing more energy onto the earth. Okay. Why? You're bringing it into your human energy field. They say it's your aura. You're clearing your aura. How about that? You're clearing your aura. Just like earlier in the video, we did a visual where we did the ping pong ball, the ball of light in your belly to clear away any stomach aches or negativity or darkness. Now we're bringing light out into your outer world, your human energy field, and we are bringing more prosperity. So let's talk right now and bring some positivity. Here we are. This ball of light is going to bring me prosperity and abundance. This ball of light, it's almost like I'm telling this ball of light what it's going to do. This ball of light is obviously going to bring me travel. I'm going to be traveling. This ball of light is going to bring me more forgiveness. This light ball is going to bring me more goodness. So those are a little bit affirmation. You decide what you want to say. This ball of light, start with this ball of light. This ball of energy is going to bring me more hope. This ball of light is going to bring me more happiness. All right, so I'm going to rub my hands, put my hands together. So tonight we spoke about the globalists, the three-letter government agencies, Operation Mockingbird. I mentioned, and I said, the propaganda. We spoke about Lightcode activation, and angels are beings of light. They come from the heavens to earth here to protect humanity. They're non-gender, they're immortal, they're messengers, they're warriors. Maybe you see a speck of light the corner of your eye, and it's an angel. Maybe you feel a brush across your face. Maybe an angel will visit you during a dream or give you warning, whisper something in your ear. Maybe they lift you up through circumstances that you feel you're not strong enough and you need support. Many a time that happened for me. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's my little promo. And angels are messengers, they're guides, they're warriors. They've been dispersing darkness and negativity, and they've been aiding us during the spiritual war. All right, everyone. Well, I'm sending you hope and light, and I'm saying thank you very much. I have gratitude for this moment being here with you, and I want good things for you. I hope that all your dreams come true. If you want to imagine right here before you your destiny, your desire in this moment, you can't say my bucket list anymore. You can't say in 20 years. We can't count on 20 years. We have to have it come right now in this moment, have the experience right now. And how are you going to manifest it right now? You know this already because I've told you. You're going to imagine your feet firmly planted in the earth's surface. You're going to say, I'm grounded. You want to be grounded. You want to look around. I'm holding a glass. Don't have these looping thoughts. You want to be in this moment and have gratitude. And then when you do those steps and you're relaxed, you're going to say, what do I see right here in this? What is my destiny? What is my desire? What do I see? What do I feel when I look at that? How do I have excitement in my heart? Is it resonating with me? Whatever it is that's your desire, your dream, your destiny, we want to bring it right here so that we go through the portal and we make it true right now. Not in 20 years, not on a bucket list, right here. So I'm imagining what my destiny and my desire is. And what is it? Let me see, because I'm having gratitude for this moment. I'm grounding my feet in the earth. I'm imagining that I'm here presently. And what do I see if it's right before me? And it's done. All right, so I'm circling light and you're in the middle of it. You're making a wish. It's kind of what we just did, isn't it? We did a lot of wish making tonight, didn't we? That's okay. It's good to make wishes. And you're in the center of it because you know what? That's how we have positivity and that's how we transition. That's how we transmute our energy. We bring it into our physical and our physical reality and our inner world. And I'm sending you light. Everyone have a wonderful night. I hope you like the video. Subscribe to the channel and I'll be back again another day. Bye.